Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my spoiler-free series review as well as season finale review of... This video is going to be spoiler free, so if you haven't already seen the show or the finale episode, you can still watch this video. And if you haven't seen the series at all, you can check out all of my episode by episode reviews right up here. I'm also going to be posting a reaction video to the finale, and when that gets uploaded, the link will be in the description down below. And if you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so and turn notifications on so you don't miss any time I upload a new video. But without wasting any more time, let's get right into it, starting it off with the season finale review. Pretty good episode. I wouldn't say it's top tier for the series itself, but overall, it was still a pretty fun episode. The first half was just phenomenal. It was insane. The action was so awesome. The final battle was just so well done. Like, it was not only physically like action packed, but it was also emotionally packed, and you could really tell the emotion behind every single punch. And like, you could tell when like Omni-Man just didn't care, and then sometimes when Omni-Man did care and was trying to kill. Like, I thought overall this episode did a good job of just balancing all different aspects. It was emotional, it was gritty, and then towards the end it got a little bit lighthearted. And I didn't really like the ending of the episode as much as I wanted to, but I'll get into that later in this video. So in general, the backstory for Omni-Man that gets revealed in this episode, awesome backstory. I loved it a lot. I can't wait to see more of Viltrumite and those people later on in this show. I mean, we got a season 2 and 3 confirmed earlier today, so if you are a fan of the show, it is getting renewed for seasons 2 and 3. Robert Kirkman said it could go all the way up to 7 seasons, so that is really, I'm really hopeful. I really do love this show as a whole. The finale, like I said before, the second half is not the best of the finale, but overall as a show, it's still a phenomenal show, and I can't wait for season 2 and 3. But getting back to the season finale episode itself, Omni-Man's backstory wasn't cringe, and I really like that because it's really easy to make a backstory of such a powerful person super cringe and cliche all the time, but this one was done pretty uniquely. It was a pretty unique backstory. I mean, it's probably taken directly from the comics, so we have to credit Robert Kirkman for that, but overall, this episode was good in terms of kind of not being as cheesy when it comes to final battles and finales and wrapping up stories. Like, it wasn't like what you'd normally think a superhero show would be like, in the good ways, but also in some bad ways. Like I said before, the action and emotion were off the charts. They did a good job balancing it, and another thing that they did a great job of balancing it overall in this episode was the use of all the characters. This show, in my opinion, is one of the biggest strengths of the show is world building and characterization, and the way that they've implemented all of these different characters, all of these side characters, side storylines, and how they brought them all together in this episode, in this finale itself, was so great. During the final battle, we got cuts back to each of the main side characters, and the second half of the episode, which was in my opinion the weaker part of the episode, it did focus on the finishing storylines and characterizations of these side characters, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. That's not the thing I didn't like about the episode, but I disliked the way they transitioned from the first half of the episode to the second half, but that's a different story. I'll talk about that later in this video. I think they utilized the teen team. Well, technically they're the Guardians of the Globe now, but I think that the teen team was utilized really well. They weren't necessarily big in the final battle itself, but they did help out in ways where they still seemed really relevant, and that's what I really liked about this finale. It just seemed to balance all different aspects so well. Now, getting to the part that I really disliked about this episode was definitely the ending, and I didn't feel satisfied. It felt as if this whole season was a prologue, but at the same time, it felt like beginning parts of the season were a prologue to the finale, and then the finale ended up being a prologue to season 2 and 3. I just didn't feel satisfied. Now, one show that we could probably compare this one to is The Boys seasons 1 and 2. Now, obviously, this show only has one season, so I'm only going to compare it to The Boys season 1. Overall, they're pretty good. Both of the writing is awesome. The visuals are awesome. Blood, gore, top level stuff. You guys already know Amazon and their gore. But overall, I think that one thing that The Boys did really well was they ended off the storyline so well in that season itself, while still teasing and getting me excited for the next season's storyline. Now I want to give you guys my season review as a whole. Again, this is spoiler free, so if you haven't already seen the season, you guys don't have to worry about that. But the season as a whole, in my opinion, it's top fiction TV, or superhero fiction TV for that. I love The Boys, I love Daredevil, I love Luke Cage, I love all of the Marvel stuff, I love the DC shows, I love seasons 1 through 4 of Flash. But this show was just something so different. It built so many storylines. It had week-to-week villains, but everything culminated by the end. It didn't feel like these week-for-week villains were disposable, I guess you could say. For example, in the CW shows, all of those week-to-week villains are just disposable. everything adds up here. Everything comes together. I think that's what they did well. They paced the entire season as a whole so well, and I just love what they created with all these characters. They built a phenomenal world in such a short amount of time. Just the first 3 episodes alone, we got so much world building and characterization building. We got so much with Adam, Eve, Amber, Mark's best friend, Mark, Debbie, heck, even everyone in the teen team. Everyone was so fleshed out and you cared about each character. And that's one of the best things I can say about this show. It cares for each individual character while still focusing on the 2 main characters, Omni-Man and Invincible. I would definitely say the finale didn't stick the landing. It wasn't even comparable to some of the other episodes. I think the last episode, episode 7, might be the best episode of the series, and for right reason. It set up this episode so well while still culminating everything from the previous episodes. Episode 7 started off right where episode 6 left off, and it did a good job of transitioning, whether it was from Mark and Amber's relationship issues to Mark beating a chart to Mark and Omni-Man having to team up against the monster. It was just so well crafted. It was emotional, gritty, and fun, as was the entire season as a whole. I think this entire season, it had the most emotional moments. You guys will see in my reaction video coming out tomorrow morning that I almost started crying at some parts of this finale, and just in general this show, I literally cried a few times. I mean, this show is just so emotional, and then at times it got so fun. And yeah guys, that basically wraps up my review for the season finale and the season as a whole of Invincible. I cannot wait for seasons 2 and 3. I'm just so excited for this show to keep going. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and you do enjoy these types of videos. Also turn notifications on so you get notified anytime I upload a new video or I go live. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.